is easy to get overwhelmed by the alphabet soup of geopolitical headlines. Every time a pact like AUKUS, the Quad, or the SCO forms, the internet immediately starts counting down to World War III. Conventional military size is increasingly secondary to the way those forces are networked across national borders. We are transitioning from the 20th century model of multilateralism, large, slow-moving global treaties, into an era of minilateralism. This shift explains why global defense budgets are migrating from massive standing armies towards specialized, high-tech strike groups. This chart maps alliances by structural rigidity and technological agility. Legacy treaties like NATO and CSTO sit bottom right, bringing heavy bureaucratic drag. Top left are AUKUS, the Quad, and US-Japan-South Korea trilateral, trading formal guarantees for rapid tech integration. Nations are now forced to choose between the absolute safety of a 32-nation consensus and the lethal speed of a 3-nation tech partnership. The standard for traditional multilateralism remains NATO. As of 2026, it has expanded to 32 member states, with the integration of Finland and Sweden. The alliance relies on Article 5, the legally binding guarantee that an armed attack against one member forces a response from every other. In Eurasia, the Russian-led Collective Security Treaty Organization operates a similar mechanism. Article 4 provides a defense shield for nations like Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Tajikistan. However, these massive treaties are vulnerable to internal political friction. When Armenia froze its CSTO participation and funding in 2024, it exposed how quickly diplomatic gridlock can erode a bloc's credibility. Despite that friction, these treaties provide conventional deterrence that smaller groups cannot match, maintaining integrated air defense systems and massive land forces. They are built to stop a border invasion, but their internal politics often move too slowly to address emerging cyber warfare and high-tech maritime threats. This inertia is why the Indo-Pacific has become the primary laboratory for the minilateral strategy. The Quad, uniting the US, Japan, India, and Australia, has moved beyond a diplomatic forum to become a maritime security pillar, tracking real-time naval movements. AUKUS takes this further, trading broad legal guarantees for the immediate development of Pillar 2 technologies, such as nuclear-powered submarines and quantum computing. Similarly, the US, Japan, South Korea trilateral agreement focuses on a specific capability, a shared real-time data link to track ballistic missile launches in Northeast Asia. This agility comes at a diplomatic cost. These exclusive clubs prioritize their own tech integration over broad regional consensus. The creation of AUKUS angered France over a cancelled submarine contract and directly challenged the neutral stance of the ASEAN bloc. Minilateral pacts explicitly sacrifice diplomatic harmony to ensure they can dominate next-generation technology and control specific maritime choke points. A third category of alliances prioritizes regional influence and intelligence gathering over formal combat treaties. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization represents massive demographic weight. Led by China and Russia, the SCO conducts joint exercises involving hundreds of thousands of troops. However, the SCO lacks the legal framework to force its members into a unified combat scenario. It remains a consultative tool for regional stability, rather than a military alliance. In contrast, the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance executes joint cyber-forward operations to protect shared infrastructure and actively repels state-sponsored hacks. In the Middle East, the Arab Military Cooperation is deploying indigenous drone technology to secure energy transit routes independently. These groups provide surveillance and regional influence without requiring the absolute legal commitment of a mutual defense treaty. This decision tree shows exactly how a government in 2026 allocates its defense capital based on their most pressing threat. If a nation faces a conventional land invasion, they must seek the mass and rigid legal protection of treaties like NATO or the CSTO. If the primary threat is technological encroachment or contested maritime borders, they prioritize agile minilateralism through AUKUS or the Quad. To secure energy transit or trade routes without a binary reliance on the US or China, nations form regional cooperative pacts. Global power is now bifurcated. No single organizational model can secure a nation across every domain. Investing in minilateralism is a calculated choice. Nations knowingly accept higher regional tension to secure a long-term technological edge. National strength is no longer measured by physical mass alone, but by the resilience of digital and strategic networks. When a new alliance appears in the news, look past the World War III hype. Evaluate if the members are trading legal rigidity for technological speed. By 2026, a nation's security relies on its cyber defenses and the agility of its partners at contested maritime choke points.